Welcome to the Salsa Garden class at the Warner Springs Hub and Resource Center. I'm Nina Karavasilis, your teacher. I had gone to Walmart, and there I found a heap of jalapenos and onions. There was garlic and tomatoes with limes in the background. It was the visual recipe for salsa. Our executive director, Brittany Mache, found this Aero Gardener online and has been happily starting little seeds with controlled light, nutrients, and temperature in a countertop space. The Del Mar Fair, now called the San Diego Fair, has had both salsa gardens and pizza gardens. Herb gardens are both old and current. There's healing gardens now and chakra gardens. The hub has new raised beds, composting and vermiculture. Protections from rodents and birds is important, and setting up with a water source will save your back. One of Brittany's peppers is happy with the outstanding company made by the kids earlier. Timer irrigation is a must in our hot, dry climate. We have some nice shade places to take a break from gardening and meet with friends for lunch. Please notice the young fruit trees with bags. These bags transpire water over a long period of time and are good for places that don't have a watering system. The class plan is to talk about our salsa garden and how to make one at your home. Some science, some history, and to make some different salsas. An interesting fact, salsa sales overtook ketchup sales in 1991. The slide shows the varieties of salsa as well as their amazing color palette. As a point of interest, I used to own the Chili Villa, an organic small chili farm and store in the equally small neighborhood of Sunshine Summit in Warner Springs. It was a difficult business which I enjoyed, but ultimately kept my day job as an artist. Preserving food is very important and sometimes very beautiful. These chilies are simply strung together onto like a thread string. Usually there's a bit of fluff on the top to make them more decorative. There are very many different types of chilies. They have different flavors and heat. The Scoville unit is one way of describing them. Wilbur Scoville was immortalized by inventing the Scoville heat unit in 1912. It is a number of times a drop of chili extract must be diluted in water and sugar before it can't be detected, starting at 0 for bell peppers and going as high as 3.2 million for pepper X. 6,000 years ago in Central and South America, peppers were first cultivated. They spread through trade, but the reality is that they spread in the bellies and poop of birds. Peppers evolved to attract birds who could fly the seeds great distances along with fertilizer. They also evolved heat to discourage mammals who could digest the seeds, thus wasting the seeds with no propagation. 100 years, chilies were all around the world, the first spice of the masses. Natural cross-pollination and human selection gave us all these different types of peppers. The heat is not in the seeds, but rather the membrane that surrounds the seeds. safest way to sample a new pepper is to start eating from the tip. If you have eaten a too hot pepper, drink a milk product. It's interesting how Mexican and Indian dishes include dairy, like sour cream and yogurt. A fun quick fact, the bell pepper has 5 times as much vitamin C as an orange. Boosting metabolism and aiding digestion, chilies also hold cultural significance in many societies. Chiltepins are a wild native in the Southwest. For Native American culture, our local tribes in particular, it's a super hot little guy, almost 40 times as hot as a jalapeno. They are rare and protected in 3 national parks. With seeds, you can grow this heirloom in your backyard. As with other nightshades, start peppers about 8 weeks before Mother's Day. Plant them a scant 1/4 inch deep in the soil. 85-degree bottom heat, like with a heating pad, the waterproof kind, or wrap a plastic bag really well around that. The seed should germinate within 21 days. Transplant to a larger pot until you have 6 true leaves. Remember that cotyledon is the first leaf out. Bring them outdoors gently. Fertilize with nitrogen and calcium. The chiltepin prefers partial sunlight and well-draining soil. Pluck these tiny little berry-like peppers. Wear gloves and eye protection, I mean it. They will store in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks. Drying them is a good idea. The plant grows to about 3 feet tall. The fish pepper has this odd story in Black history. I had worked on the African American Legacy public art piece in San Diego's Lillian Place. The fish pepper was a nice dovetail into the city's history. We hear the word capsaicin a lot lately. While it's an irritant for mammals, it is also good at relieving muscle and joint pain. It's a topical analgesic and in dermal patches and reduces neuralgia. It even decreases LDL cholesterol. It's a personal defense as a pepper spray and may reduce peptic ulcers, as crazy as that sounds. Roasting peppers smells fantastic. To the top right is from Hatch, New Mexico, where the festival happens. This tumbler does large-scale roasting, and the home cook can do one at a time using tongs, no pan, just on the gas stove. Heat it till it blisters and burns, then put it into a paper bag for 10 minutes. Peel off the skin with your fingers, remove the seeds, and use as you like. There's a lot of leeway in a salsa recipe. Generally, there is onion, cilantro, lime, cumin, tomatoes, garlic, some salt and oregano. Did I mention the garlic? Then there can be fruits too. Strawberries, cherries, apple, citrus, Asian pears, mangoes, and even watermelon. There's a different pace to growing onions. It takes 2 years to get a finished onion. Some people buy sets, which are tiny bulbs sold in hardware stores. Sets only take 1 year because a company did the growing work for you the previous year. Sets are quicker gratification. However, you will be limited to 1 generic onion. This is a choice. Slow bolting varieties of cilantro are great. Soak the seeds overnight in water, remove from the water, and then put them in a plastic bag in a sunny spot for 2 days until they sprout. Remove the seeds from the bag into containers. They should get at least 4 hours of sunlight. Harvest them when the cilantro is 6 inches tall. Extend your harvest, especially with drying. Canning, pickling, and freezing are options too, or eat lots of fresh salsa. It's a famous dance after all. Buy your seeds in November or December. I know I can hardly wait for catalogs in the mail. Gardeners must plan ahead and know what types of peppers and flavors they want to grow next year so you can eat your own harvest. Our class then went to Brittany's office on a little tour. Then we went back to prepare some salsa. Alice brought Tito Puente to keep our spirits high. Now just look at those beauties. I had roasted different peppers at home and brought them in so that everyone could try peeling. We had all manner of testing and tasting and changes on the fly. Our recipes included tomatoes, peaches, grapes, mint, and the spice za'atar, poblano, jalapeno, and hatch horn-style peppers. We had cucumbers, onions, and scallions. It was great fun. This is Nina Karavasilis, your hot-mouthed teacher of things from garden to table, wishing you a great salsa experiment.